Good evening, and first let me thank you for allowing Kimmons HR Consultants to address your current needs regarding recent reports of the racial discrimination complaints within your U.S. facilities. To follow up from our previous conversations, we are seeking to provide both short and long-term solutions to assist with unconscious workplace bias, stereotypes, and intercultural communication competence for your organization in relation to African Americans, your employees, and management staff. Just as a brief overview, as you may already know, racial discrimination continues to exist within the workforce as a dominant stumbling block for minorities. Title VII of the Civil Rights Act of 1964 protects employees and job applicants from employment discrimination based on race, color, religion, and sex and national origin. The 1964 law was amended for the first time by the passage of the Civil Rights Act of 1991 to override several Supreme Court decisions that created difficulties for employees to prove occurrences of racial injustice. African American women are amongst the highest racial discrimination cases reportedly filed with the Equal Employment Opportunity Commission, or the EEOC, on an annual basis. A survey conducted by YWCA states how 61% of Black women reported experiencing racial discrimination at work. According to Banks, the history dates prior to 1970, in which these same women were excluded for better paying jobs with the only option of working domestically for Caucasian families. Many jobs obtained by these women are associated with low-wage labor in comparison to Caucasian women, which now, 50 years later, 1/5 of Caucasian women are in service labor jobs as opposed to 1/3 of Black women. Since early historical references of slavery, these women have been categorized as hard laborers. If we take another look at the YWCA statistics, we can find that a mere 61 cents for every dollar is paid to African American women in comparison to non-Hispanic and white men, despite the 1963 Equal Pay Act amendment that prohibits the right to pay women less than men completing the same job. On the opposing side, let's take a look at how racial discrimination cases impact employers. Companies who find themselves entangled in these matters have a lack of cultural communication, a negative brand image, and a lack of trust between employees and employers. Employees tend to stray away from bringing these issues to fruition when they feel that they cannot trust employers to resolve these issues. Past African American discrimination cases have affected popular stakeholders such as GE, UPS, and Austel in terms of unfair wages, unsafe work conditions, hiring practices, and the repetitive racial slurs. Historically, monetary penalties for cases as such are estimated to be $64 billion annually. FedEx alone paid $3 billion to settle claims that it discriminated against job applicants based on race and gender in 15 states. We want to lessen these barriers by improving the communication skills within your team by promoting employee engagement and cultural awareness. Our short-term solutions will build upon skills needed for intercultural communication competence, such as personality strength, communication skills, psychological adjustment, and cultural awareness to create a positive environment for your stakeholders. You want to create a safe, fun, and proactive approach to discussing different backgrounds. Find what fits best for each team. This way, every team member's voice is heard and accustomed to the norms shaped within your team. Make sure you establish team goals and disperse individual responsibilities evenly. Encourage the team members to connect with one another on a personal level and promote camaraderie. And lastly, remind your employees to communicate messages clearly.